this third game, we're again putting things in order, this time more than one thing at a time. 4 students. Each student has 2 paintings, an oil and a watercolor. So there's 4 oils, which I will designate with circles. So in Rule 5, when Isaac's oil is in the lower position of wall 4, it's going to look like that in my diagram. I don't think there's anything else to say about the rules. Maybe you noticed that if you can't have 2 watercolors together, and if you've got 4 of them, then you also can't have 2 oils together. Maybe you didn't notice that yet. That's fine too. Let's just answer some questions. Question 12, an accurate list of the paintings in the lower positions. Why can't we just have Franz's oil, Franz's watercolor, Green's oil, and Isaac's oil? Well, Franz's oil is going with Green's watercolor. And so now we got both our G's, we got both our F's. We need a square I, and that'll be with one of these two, but I've got a rule about I. I can't be with F, so our square I is here. And now we've got a square G and a circle G. And we can't obviously put, if we put the square G here, then we'd have 2 squares, and that's wrong. So the square, I said G, square H and a circle H, sorry. And we put the square H here, that would violate Rule 1. So that square H is here, and the circle H is here. And sure, that doesn't break any rules. You know, any of these other answer choices, though, you try to put them in, and they're going to break rules. So there's question 12. And now question 13. If Isaac's watercolor is on wall 2, Isaac's square, I don't know if it's top or bottom. I'll signify with a slash. Could be either top or bottom. It's not with another square, so it's with a circle. And also Franz's oil. Franz's oil from Rule 4 is on the bottom with square G. And now we've got I from Rule 5. And I, now we've got 1, 2 of our 4 watercolors. And this is what I was saying just a minute ago. If you notice at the beginning that if you can't have 2 watercolors, you also can't have 2 oils, great. If you didn't, here's where you kind of have to start glomming onto that, right? I can't put 2 watercolors here, right? Rule 1. And I've got 2 watercolors left. So one of them goes here, not with a watercolor, and the other one goes here. And now this one is either H or F, but I've got a rule about F and I, so it's not F, it's H. And this is my F. And then I've got my 2 I's, I've got my 2 F's, so I've got a G and an H here in some order. What could be, what must be on wall 1? Oh, square F. Answer choice A. 14. If H's oil is on wall 2, what else could be there? H's oil, again, I don't know if it's upper or lower position, it's just there on wall 2. I's oil is here. Now, this is one of those things where if you noticed earlier, if you deduced that you can't have 2 circles together, then you're kind of done it already because you know this is a square. But if you did not, that's totally fine. This is how you deal with it. H is there, I is there. We have to have G and F, and they are either here or they are here. Now, we have 1, 2, 3 circles, and we have 1 square. So we got 3 more squares. They cannot ever be together. So that means there's 3 squares, 1 in each day. I don't know if the square is top or bottom here. I know that square has to be up top here. The square will have to be in some order here. I've already used G. This can't be H because rule 2. So it is either I or F. And this can't be G because G is taken, and it can't be F because of rule 3. So it is either H or I, and it's not I, so it has to be H. Okay. And then this one will be the other one of F or I. And then this will be my circle, who I've got. Circle F, H, I, circle G. All right, same thing down here. I've got 3 circles. I have 1 more left. I only have 1 square. I've got 3 left. They can't be together. 1, 2, 3. And I don't know if this one's top or bottom. And then I just count up who's gone. H, F, and I. So I've got a circle G. That'll be here. This is not F from rule 3. And it's not G because G's here. So it's either H or I. And it's not I because of rule 2. So it's H. By the way, this might be the place where you notice that that's always going to be true. If you don't notice that, fine. You don't have to. And then I've got a square F and a square I, and they are in some order, F and I. And this is how you do. Step by step, one piece at a time. Follow the rules. You'll be fine. What could be on wall 2? Well, I or F, watercolors. Answer choice E only. Now question 15. If G's oil is on the same wall as Franz's watercolor, it doesn't tell us which wall, so we're just pairing them up. G's oil is with Franz's watercolor in some order. We also know that G's watercolor is with Franz's oil from rule 4. That's 2 walls. Wall 4 is in this order some watercolor that is not G or F or I. It's H. And then one other wall, and now we've used both G's, we've used both F's. So we need a circle H and a square I. And they're in either order. What were we asked? What must be true? And notice how none of the answer choices talk about what wall anything's on, because we just don't know, except for this is wall 4. Green's oil is upper. It might be, but it might be lower. Hidalgo's water is on the same wall as Isaac's water. No, that's stupid. Watercolors are never together. Hidalgo's oil is in the upward position. It might be, but it could be lower. Hidalgo's oil is on the same wall as Isaac's watercolor. Yeah, whatever wall that is, they're together. Question 16. Franz's oil's on wall 1. And now we're back to knowing what wall's where. I is here. Franz's oil with Green's watercolor. And, sort of 4 questions in, we've finally glommed on to the fact that since this can't be an oil, because that would put 2 watercolors together, it's a watercolor. And since it can't be I, rule 2, and it can't be F from rule 3, and it can't be G from rule 4, it must be H. And we may be slow learners, but we pay attention to the rules and we get there, and it doesn't hurt us at all. We don't have to be geniuses is what I'm saying. All right, and now we've got a square F and a square I, is one way of thinking about it. And I don't know which one is which, but they can't be together. And a circle G and a circle H, and I don't know which one is which. They can't be together. What could be true? Franz's watercolor's on wall 4. No, wall 4 is H and I. Green's oil is on wall 2. Sure, why not? As compared to Green's watercolor is on wall 2. There's Green's watercolor. Hidalgo's watercolor is on wall 4, not 3. Isaac's oil is on wall 4. That was just a rule. Don't be stupid. And that's question 16. Question 17, I mean, it's just simple application of rules. Answer choice A could not possibly be true because Rule 5 says Isaac's oil is on the bottom. So you don't get 2 F's and 2 G's on the bottom. Where would Isaac go? Answer choice B has both of Franz's on the upper position, but Rule 4 says Franz is on a lower position. Get rid of B. Answer choice C, same thing as B. Get rid of it. Answer choice D, same thing as A. If you got 2 G's and 2 H's in the lower position, where is I? So both of Green's and both of Hidalgo's in the upper positions, sure. Why not? And that leaves us with only question 18, what cannot be true? And let's talk about why D cannot be true. Put Hidalgo's watercolor in a lower position. It doesn't matter what position, F and G are together. All right, 2 more squares. They can't be together. They have to be here in some order and here. And this square is not I, it is not F, and it is not G. It must be H. Wait a minute, you can't have 2 square H's. And again, the point is, if there are things that you can deduce, you will always arrive at them by simply following the rules. And I only say that to affirm that you do not have to be some kind of games monster in order to get a perfect score in every game section. That finishes this game.